I think forgiveness, when we come to the awareness of us as individuals and all of the different ways that our past has impacted us and the habitual things that we do that maybe aren't in alignment with what we really mean or want or need at any given moment. I think the natural byproduct of that for many of us is as we learn how to extend ourself compassionate understanding. Oh, okay, right. I repeated this habit. I might feel bad about it, right? But I know why I did it. And I have compassion maybe for the pain or the hurt that that reaction came from. And now I'm creating space for a new response in that moment. And when I can hold that compassionate space instead of shaming myself, devaluing myself, making myself unworthy for whatever that habit was, I think a byproduct, we can almost forgive ourselves, right, for our actions, right, without shaming ourselves for who we are. I then think that we can begin to extend that forgiveness or that same compassion to those around us. But the reason why I'm intentionally focusing on the embodiment piece, right, this doesn't mean to just zoom out almost from that mind-driven point of understanding and say, oh, okay, I understand why my parents were unable to meet my needs in the way that they were. And so now I just must forgive them. If we bypass that step, that which is, I did not get my needs met by these parents, and I feel sad, at loss, angry, in grief, whatever it is about it, it becomes then, I think, an act of bypassing to just go right to, well, I just need to forgive without giving ourselves the space to be with how we feel about what happened, right? Then I think we're not truly going to be able to extend that forgiveness. And then that allows us the possibility, especially given whatever the nature is of the relationship, to not only create changes in our dynamic with this person, but possibly even, right, separation. Because I think sometimes too, when we think of forgiveness, not only do we immediately assume that we need to offer it, we immediately assume that that means perhaps that that relationship goes back to exactly how it was or must continue how it has always been. And that's not necessarily, I think, the outcome for all of us, right? Forgiveness might mean allowing ourselves to mourn whatever it is that happened or didn't happen. Forgiveness could mean communicating our experience to someone else. On some occasions, it might mean hearing the apology that we want. On others, it might not. And then it means, right, if we were actually able to be with our hurt, our pain, and then to navigate and negotiate and determine what it is and how it is that we have to show up to continue this relationship, perhaps creating safety and security where there hadn't been that yet, then I think we can really embody the practice of forgiveness. And on some occasions, that safety and the security might mean changing the dynamic, right? Creating separation, forgiving, if you will, from afar, and not just returning to this idea that forgiveness means essentially just getting over it, because it doesn't. And I don't think it's always possible in all occasions to just get over it and go right back to how things were.